Hi, good afternoon. I'm going to do my daily review. So today we had a couple things that I was looking at. I was looking at ADB, which I was short in the pre-market, um, and looking for a gap give and go off the open. Usually don't enter a pre-market, but I did on this one in my stop. I'm not sure, it's just above here. I didn't end up getting stopped out. And it started, flushing down. And so I covered as it started to rebid, and I believe this was at off of the lows here. Let me throw this back on here. So we came down into the lows. So basically just trading within the range, pops back up, and that's kind of where it's been holding all day, just the middle of this range. So this was a small size winner for me. I was really looking to get heavier in a pop up and fail, but wasn't able to get that. Next up, I was looking at Oracle. Oracle had a nice gap up their all-time highs, and was looking for a pullback into this 170, 160 range. Instead, what this thing did is right before the pre-market. So you can see this is the top of its range. This is in the pre-market. It just pops up and then fails. And so this is the first move down. You could just get short here and then follow it with 2-bar breaks. And what you're really looking for here is 170, 169 retest. And so it comes right into that level and really just holds. And so really, if you were to just take a look at this all the way down into yesterday's high of day, if you were to just take this on 2-minute bar breaks, I don't even think you would have gotten stopped out until this candle. Yeah, so this was crazy. So I was looking for a 170 rebid, and you can see here there's a little bit of a reaction here at 170, but it's not really able to consolidate. It's just going lower, making new lows. So yeah, this thing gave back the entirety of its move. So not what you want to see for gap give and goes or breakouts or whatever it is. So that's the type of market we're in right now. And so the trade that I did take here, I took on PDD as well. This thing was gapping down. Again, short in the pre-market, sort of put in this 5-minute range, and then it went to the bottom of this range at this reaction level. So probably I should have took off partial here, and then I did end up getting a full stop on this one. This is small size since I was in the pre-market, just seeing if we're going to get like a first leg down and really just get some momentum, kind of like we did on Oracle, but it wasn't able to do that. It just kind of pops up and stops me out. So not a bad idea. Glad that I took this on smaller size just to get me some more momentum. Something I've been playing around with more and more is getting a size started in the pre-market, and then adding to it on a opening range break or some other sort of setup. So that was my second trade. And then the only trade that worked for me was AFRM. So AFRM, throw this on the daily here. You can see this. It's probably too much, but so you can see that we had like this downtrend, nice downtrend on the daily, and then it comes out into its 200 SMA on the daily, and then just rebids off of this. So I think even this is a really solid trade. Just enter probably here with your stop, below here, whatever it is, and then just move it up. And so it's coming into the top of its, range. And so for me, since we actually had a gap up day, and so it kind of looks like it wants to go and test the high of this range. This is $44. So I've been watching this one for a while, looking at a place to get long. And so how I decided to trade this was I was just looking at 2-minute bars. And at this time, we had like the Qs that were holding the top of its range, which is what I wanted to see. And then we had AFRM that came and did like a bit of a pullback, and then just got long with a stop just below like this low of day. And and then it was really able to go. Now this one was a little bit tougher hold because we did have market news. Qs really started selling at this candle, and we got a pretty big volume sell-off, but it was able to hold, and then came right into the 44 level. So a couple different ways that I was looking at playing this. I was looking at taking it off the 9 EMA, and I was even considering just taking off half for the 2-minute bar breaks, because it didn't actually do one this entire move. So we're overextended into this resistance level, so probably should have taken off half. Probably will do so in the future, but the markets really started selling here again. So a lot of volatility in the market, just like dragging other stocks down, making stocks very difficult to trade right now. Because this had pulled back so fast, I wanted to see if it was going to rebid. And so what we got here is we had the 9 EMA on the 5-minute. This is a higher time frame idea, being that the whole idea is based upon the daily chart. And so for these higher time frame ideas, I usually like to go low of day for my entry, and then I will follow it with the 9 EMA on the 5-minute. So once it's held, it pulls back into the 9 EMA, starts to hold. We also had a prior trend from that prior dump, and it was respecting it, gets back above the 44 level, and then starts to roll over again. You can see that it's barely like consolidating here and struggling. So I just exit on the loss of the 9 EMA as it starts to sell again, and then I get out of 75% of my position into that 44 level. So this is about a 3-hour trade right here. So this is a very clean trade, and then I just give a 25%. So I think maybe I'll go maybe 10% next time. None of these have ever worked for me, but I just feel like the idea here is that we're coming into this sort of gap fill. Maybe it does sell off and then eventually come back and consolidate. But the idea here is if it does close at this 44 levels, or even within the top 20%, we might get a gap up into Monday, and then another big move off of above these highs here. So that's kind of the overall idea that I'm going for. So just keeping really wide stops on those 25%. Unfortunately, and this is well below VWAP and everything, unfortunately it does come back and knock me out over my 25%. And it did this when the Qs were holding up, holding VWAP pretty decently. So I'm kind of annoyed with that. But is what it is. Overall, this is a very good trade. And just took it on pretty small size because I'm always, testing these higher time frame ideas. So I think I'm starting to build, playbooks and get more confidence in how to trade them and things like that. So I'm still building out these rules. So I'm still taking them on smaller size. But I think this was a $9 risk, and I think I was up over $40 at one point. So this was a pretty, 4 or 5 hour type of trade. And so look to take more of these with bigger size in the future. But so selectivity today. First of all, I like that I did not try anything on Oracle. So yeah, that was good. And then Adobe, I like that I had a small starter position on. It really failed. I think that this Oracle trade here is something that I might start looking to add into my playbooks. Thing is, you do have like a 2R trade here, and you're looking for a gap give and go to go long. But if it doesn't give you the gap give and go, and it just starts fading the 2-minute, this will go into like from a 2R trade to like a 4R trade. So something also that I might be looking to add to my playbook. Overall, I had a good day today. Traded well within my system. Still not feeling, like I'm overall trading very well. keeping my size small and just going back to really focusing on taking only the best setups. All right, good morning. Today for pre-market, have a couple of positions already on. So we have PDD that's gapping down 6% already. It had like this nice wedge in the pre-market holding below the VWAP. So just get short with my stop below this higher low, lower high rather, into VWAP and just looking for opening drive trade. I also have ADBE where I'm already short here. This is a 200 SMA. 200 SMA on the daily, as well as the 30% fib pullback, as well as a whole dollar level at 544. So very one of the very clean level here. So those are primarily my watches. I also have Oracle for a gap give and go into this 170 level. So watching these. So we have the open right now. And ED is right up. And Adobe. And we have Adobe at 114 Arval. Just got stopped out of one of my positions. PDD. Which is unfortunate. Right now it's going down. EDB. Super annoying here. ED just like wicks me out and then completely fails. We have RCL. And this 170 is pretty much like a must. There is a pretty decent size spread, like a 20-cent spread right now. And Adobe not really doing much right now. Volume profile is pretty small. And we just put in a lower high. It looks pretty choppy. These are still holding up. Coming into 170. Oracle at 170. And so 169.50 is the 30% pullback. So I am looking for a nice inside bar. Right now we just have sustained volume. We're doing 5, almost 6 R vol. These are still strong. 170. So looking to get long above 170. It's really clean right now. Put in a multi-bar consolidation. It just needs to hold these levels and then increase in volume. 170. Skipping down. Increase on volume on the break. These are still holding up. And we'll go take a look at Adobe. Adobe setting up for an opening range break. A little bit of pop in volume. Qs are still holding up. Open outside. So I would expect volume to come in again. We have a clear stop here. 129, so it's like 130. And I would expect a flush here, which we're not getting. I mean, this was a pop in volume. We did get 164. Not like huge, but it was the second highest volume candle on the opening range break. It's down 10%. Really get the flush. All right, so I'm just gonna get out of here. Probably I should wait. Gonna take small size long on AFRM. But I think Adobe. Could come into view up and fail there, or it could just fail now. Yeah, on the 2 minutes doesn't look clean at all. It just looks like it's holding. But on the 1 minute, I mean, it just cracks barely. So yeah, I don't like this one because it didn't do it enough. PED finally didn't wake me out. Probably should have took some off, small position, but take some off into this resistance area, into the open. Hmm. So it's gonna open above. Hmm. Touching the 90 EMA for the very first time. Hmm. So this was the market definitely dragging this thing down. But what I really didn't like is that we actually had, well, we had a volume pop here. And on the 5 minute, we had like double volume here. Almost the second highest volume bar on selling, and just a complete engulfing. 4 candles engulfing inside of 2 candles. But right now, like it's sort of trying to hold. It's rebidding off the 9 EMA, and it's also this trend here. So far the trend is holding. And you could definitely get long here. I think as if like I'm not going to, but I think traders do wait for pullbacks and see how it reacts at pullback levels. That's why I'm starting to get frustrated with the market. It's like it's just constantly like dragging stocks down. So 43.57. Is not good. It's opening outside of the trend. Probably so much of this trade, Nvidia made lowers. Some CI did fail. And 16. Well, it is trying, getting back above, so probably people are getting long now. With stop just here. So much about this trade is probably going to be how the market responds. So I want to see. Okay, so SPY is actually above the VWAP, whereas Qs are below. So we're going into 11 o'clock. The 90 EMA on the 5-minute is so far holding. Felt like I should have taken on 2-minute bar trails. These are kind of going right now. SPY is going. And I'm just still watching. And probably would like to see, you know, volume come in above 44. I think that if you're short, this would be a good stop. It's 44.01. If you're really wanting to give it some more room, there's some buying is. And I want to see bids stepping up above 44. SPY is looking very aggressive. Qs are looking good. So it's getting like pretty tight here. Still waiting for bids to step up above 44. I think that if you are short, which I don't see a great reason on why to be short, I mean, I guess you could say, hey, this is a double top. But I mean, this is like, you're fighting strength. A lot of people do it. But yeah, I mean, there was a sell off. So maybe you're like, oh, we got volume. And then I don't want to see it back above 44, really. And you have the market that's dumping. So all these are really nice. You have the entire day range and 2 candles on the spot or Qs. And so we are getting volume here. Nice. And Qs is 0.78 and SPY is a 0.66. Marvel. We are at a double top here on SPYs. And so, bigger picture in mind. Again, if it closes at this 44 level, we'll just give a stop to like 2-day view up and have it gap up. So if it does get above this level, I think you're going, into this next area. This is where you can go. It's got a nice technical breakout on the daily, or that was the weekly. What? Oh, that was not a good candle. It's like a breakout candle, inverted hammer. EMA on the 5-minute is holding cleanly, where the Qs are at high of day, and you have SPY that is pushing high of day as well. They are failing high of day. And since I wasn't able to get out, I probably should have taken this 2-minute bar. 2-minute bar break. Just like I'm taking a rubber band or whatever. And because I already went through, the pain of this pullback, and since I suffered and I'm in longer, now we're back above. Like, it would have just taken this 2-minute, and then this pullback would have been like no biggie, but it didn't. Still full size. And so how I kind of think about this is the longer I'm in a trade, the more pain that I have to take in a trade, the more I should be rewarded for my time, and my pain. And so shouldn't really be looking to get out, where I would have earlier. I want to see it now, go higher to reward me for, this hold into that 90 MA on the 5-minute. But just being very cognizant about this 5-minute. Like, this is mainly the chart that I'm looking at. It still looks very clean. I think as long as the Qs, SPYs are dragging this thing down so hard, though. We're a high of day. It's trying. It's pretty overextended. On the Bollinger Bands. 2.79. So 45. These are my ATR levels. So this is 1 ATR, 1.5, and 2 ATRs at 48. And the next level from to the top of this range. So this whole area. SPYs are trying to hold. Qs are trying to hold as well. So V. I think one of the problems with these V-shaped recoveries is that you just have people who probably got long here, and they have like a 2, 3, 4 hour trade, and so you have them just taking profits a high of day because we're in a range bound market, bottom of the range, top of the range, and so you're probably struggling, right? Because you have all these people with these intraday profits who are taking these profits, which creates a level of resistance. Anyway, back at 44 on the 2-minute, looking very tight still, looking like we're failing. This is 42.83. And I'm just going to take half year, and the market is dumping again. Christ. Anyway, so now I just have my stop. Sort of break even. I'm in at 42.73. So this will put me just at this lower high, and I probably should move it. I think I'll just move it. I want to see it basically be able to hold. It should stay above you up all day. And on the 15-minute, maybe I can trail, on the 15-minute, but definitely should stay above this level. So let me set my stop there, and we'll see if we can get a close into this 44 level, set up nice for a gap up on Monday. Otherwise, I'll just have a decent sized trade.